What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the Apollo Project Evo. Now this is from DMH Models, which this is their first attempt at a diecast as far as I am aware. They've done a lot of resin models, but this is an actual diecast bit. So let's see if their attention to resin details has translated well to the diecast space. So as always, let's get things started by looking at our casting up here. So, proportionally speaking, everything looks good, which is crazy because with a wild and eccentric car as this is, it would be very easy to kind of get something wrong in that department. But it seems like they've done a pretty good job. We'll go ahead and pop the real-life car up in the top right corner, and I'll try to kind of get a comparison of the two there. Yeah, overall, pretty solid in my opinion. I think they've done a really good job. Let's go ahead and break the casting down here, though. So, everything that you're going to see on this example painted orange is pretty much going to be die-cast, except for this little engine cover section, which we will get to that in just a bit. But everything else here in orange is pretty much going to be die-cast. We do get a metal base, which is very nice to see and gives it some extra weight. We do have a good bit of plastic, though. So, all this kind of carbon fiber interior bits or whatever you want to call it, that's all going to be plastic. This canopied roof is going to be plastic, obviously. These little winglets back here are plastic. Same with the ones here in the back. And then I think some of this splitter section and front detailing bits are also going to be plastic, as well as like the hood scoop, roof scoop, and stuff like that. Now, we do have a moving part here. I'm actually going to open it on this one because I think it's a little easier to get it to open on this one. But when you open the engine cover, which is just a very unique way of opening your engine cover that's regarding the real life car, you do get even more detailing down there, which is always cool to see. Just absolutely done really, really nicely, I would say. And then again, these kind of, I'm not really sure. These might even be metal, but they feel kind of plasticky. Anyway, though, they are just done really nicely, and that is just a very nice and unique way of showing off the engine. So, paint and deco. So there were 3 color choices. Obviously white and orange, but then there was a black one as well. No full carbon. I think it was actually just painted black. So there is a couple things we need to talk about, though. This is the only orange version. There is no orange version that actually kind of matches the real life car, which is interesting. Although personally I like this orange better. So, and it also matches the Apollo Evo or the Apollo IE that I have from TPC model. And then this one matches the Apollo IE that I have from Pico. So that's why I went with those 2 colors. But then there is another 5 colors, I think, coming. There's like 3 metallic blues, a silver, and then a yellow coming. I forget exactly what there are, but there are a ton more colors on the way. So moving into our details, let's go ahead and get started up here. So we do get a little plastic insert for our headlights, which is very nice to see considering how odd these headlights are on the real life car, how extreme they are. You do get a little Apollo logo up front, and then you get a little bit of detailing back there. You get a nice carbon lip for the splitter, looking great. And then looking down onto all of this section here, all of that looks really nice with that carbon fiber decaling, looking phenomenal. Coming down to the sides here, you do get accurate wheels to a real-life car, and then you do get brake work behind them, which is very nice to see. You guys can barely see it, but it is there. And again, skirt section down here, very nicely complemented with some carbon fiber. Even tougher to see things on the sides here, but yeah, all there. Again, up top, carbon fiber on the roof scoop. Interior, not crazy detailed, but definitely more detailed than it necessarily needs to be, which is always a cool thing and a big plus. Making our way to the rear, there is no kind of like taillights, which is kind of fine by me because I'm not really sure if this car even has taillights in real life. So interesting there for sure. But the exhaust section has done extremely well, and that looks very, very nice. Carbon fiber on the little like winglet things, which looks good. And then again here we will pop open the engine cover so that you can take a look at the engine details. Nothing crazy, but again, that's probably very similar to the real life car. Probably a big chunk of plastic or something that blocks your main view, but overall still extremely highly detailed and looking great. Moving into our roll test, this is the first models that I've ever owned from DMH, and as you can see, they don't roll all that well. You can get the wheels to spin here, especially on the white one here. Back wheel there, rolling there pretty easily. Front wheels here, not quite as easy, but you can get them to go. The orange one is even tighter. Yeah, they can go, but again, it really takes some doing to get them to move. So would I say they roll? Not particularly. And then putting them on the scale, they come out to be 37.67 grams. So that metal on metal base is making them be pretty heavy, but not anywhere near like the heaviest model you own. So for our pros and cons, the biggest pros is going to be the extreme details on this one, especially that carbon fiber work. I think it came out really, really good and looks absolutely phenomenal. The other big pro is going to be the casting itself. Like, it was done perfectly. It's miniaturized so well of such an extreme and outlandish car that would have been extremely difficult to actually replicate in 1/64th scale, and they nailed it. They knocked it out of the park. For cons, though, there is one that we should definitely hit on, and that is that you cannot get the accurate kind of volcanic orange look. Now, for me personally, I prefer this bright orange, but it would have been nice to at least seen that realistic one offered, so I can see where people would have a point of contention with that. The other big con that I'm going to mention is that there can be some slight damaging. If you play with these things too much, you can see here, maybe you can't see actually, but there is some slight paint chippage right here from me opening the engine covers. And again, here on the white one, again, you're probably not going to be able to see it with how small it is, but there is a teeny tiny bit of paint chippage that has happened if you open those things too much. So I would say either open them and leave them open, or don't open them at all. Moving into some size comparisons, here is with some other absolutely crazy hypercars with the Tarmac Works Pagani Huayra R and the TPC model Apollo IE. And here we have it with a few wild cars that Hot Wheels and Matchbox have tackled, with Matchbox's Radical SR3 XXR and Hot Wheels' Gordon Murray Automotive T50S. So with all of that out of the way, it is time to find an overall score here. Hype level is going to be a 9.9. The general community might not have even known these were coming out, but those of us that did were extremely excited, and the first batch actually sold out within hours. So that was definitely cool. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.75. There are a few things that I think could have been done better, maybe some better colors that may actually still be coming out down the road. And then also the moving part not scratching the paint would have been very, very nice. Who knows, though, that could just be my examples that are having that issue. For the feedback, I have not seen a single complaint about it, and as a matter of fact, like, people seem to be loving these. There was a lot of people that didn't know these existed, and these two have gotten a whole lot of attention from the Instagram community on my page, at least, so that's very cool to see. It's going to be a 9.9 on the feedback. When we take these three scores, add them up, and average them out, we are going to end up with an overall score of 9.85. This model is absolutely fantastic, and it is replicating a truly wild supercar, concept car, whatever kind of car you want to call this. The difficulty that would have been involved with shrinking this car down to 1/64th and making it look good would probably have been pretty tough, and they absolutely nailed it. They hit it out of the park, and especially on their first attempt at diecast and not the resin world, I am absolutely floored. I am truly, truly impressed. The level of detail and that carbon fiber work, the accents of it all, just came together so nicely and looks so good. Both of them look so mean. I like that they incorporated the moving covers, the engine covers. There are a couple other brands who have done this particular car, but I believe DMH is the only one that has an opening engine cover, so that's definitely a highlight. Overall, this thing is just very, very nice. Went above and beyond my expectations, in all honesty. And I would say that if you did not get any cars from this first wave, if you can't find any of them for sale anymore, I would say just keep waiting and get some of the ones that come out in the next couple waves. Like I said, I think there's 5 new releases coming here in the next couple months. So I would definitely be picking one of those up if I were you, because these are fantastic. And with that, guys, that will wrap up this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, guys. And I will see you in the next video.